All right, guys, what is up? Jason Radowitz here. A lot of you guys have been asking me, hey, you're going to do some video content. You're going to help us out with some best bets in the MLB season. And fortunately, I am here giving you guys some best bets for the entire MLB slate today and throughout the entire season. Now, as you guys can see below me, I have an all access sub club package, which is going to be $45 per month. And that you get my best bets texted to you, my value plays, and of course, this kind of video content right here. So make sure to check out the link in the bio and yeah, get on that Dove Club subscription program for $45 a month. Right now, I'm giving 1 week free trial. So do that. You'll see right away once you click on that monthly package for the all access, and you will get a free 7 day trial for the subscription program. Now, on to the MLB slate, of course, April 7th, the MLB Best Bet Show. We're going to go down every single game from the games that start now or 2 o'clock to the games that go late into the West Coast. And we'll start with the first game. It's going to be a no BS kind of show. I'm a serious guy for the most part and like to give out my best bets. But I will talk about last year. We did go set 9.1% ROI on like nearly 200 bets. So it was a great year for us. We're going to hope to do that again this year. So bear with me. The first month is a little bit tricky. The stats are not around and splits are not really there either. But we're going to do what we can. We're going to look at the analysis and the analytics from the past 2 seasons, put that together, and hopefully we can have a solid April. And then, of course, it will get better from there. So let's go to that first game here. It's the Cubs versus the Brewers. That's a 2 o'clock game or 2:20 game. And already have the starting lineups here. Looks like Ortega is going to be starting off for the Cubs, so that's pretty interesting stuff there. But Corbin Burns on the mound, so can't really expect the Cubs to do much offensively. This is probably the worst lineup the Cubs have had in quite some time when it comes down to their offense. But I still think the Cubs could be good this year. It's just going to be a little bit harder against Burns. Burns a 2.66 xFIP in his last 2 seasons, striking out 36.2% of the batters, also walking just 6.6% of batters. So it's going to be hard to hit Burns. He's dominated against lefties, dominated against righties, even better against righties. And look at this lineup. There's a bunch of righties in the lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 righties in the lineup for the Cubs. Not much like there. Combined ISO of 180, also weighted OBA of 343. So, yeah, the Cubs, they have a solid lineup. It won't be good against Burns, but overall, the Cubs, they could be interesting this year. They have Suzuki there, the former Japanese star. So you never know what the Cubs can do here offensively. Just won't happen against Burns. Then you look at the Brewers. Their lineup really isn't that special either. Of course, they had Andrew McCutchen in their lineup. Now he's batting cleanup. A guy that couldn't make other rosters, batting cleanup for the Brewers against Hendricks. So again, not much to like out of this lineup. Hendricks, he had some pretty bad outings previously last year, but most of the time he'll just kind of get the job done, quality start through 6 innings, and that'll be that. So we'll see how that goes. He's worse against lefties with a 195 ISO. So guys like Wong, Yelich, Tellez, those three guys are pretty big bats when it comes against Hendricks. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I do like the Brewers in this game more. I wouldn't bet the money line. I wouldn't really bet the team total. Probably not much value in this game outside of maybe no runs first inning because I know DraftKings has boosted that from minus 120 to plus 140. So get on that. There's a value play right there right off the bat in the Cubs Brewers games. Get that no runs first inning on DraftKings at plus 140. That's your best bet value play there. And now that I have my own show, I'm able to give out those types of plays, and I don't need to worry about being on a different, I have to do it this book, have to give it that book. I can just give you guys whatever I see. And I see that. I'm on that as well. So, yes, we're going to take that no runs first inning for the Cubs Brewers games at plus 140, boosted on DraftKings. That's the best bet for that game, but not my overall best bet. Anyway, Let's go on to the next game here. Guardians against the Royals. Um, Again, now the Guardians, they're not the Indians, they're the Guardians now. That should be fun. That should be real fun with the Guardians. They just got, obviously, Jose Ramirez. They brought him in on an extension. So that's really good news if you're a Guardians fan. And Shane Bieber being back, also some great news as well. So that'll be really fun watching him pitch, hopefully a full season, because Shane Bieber in a full season is extremely exciting. Now, Bieber, if you look at his last two seasons, hasn't been the healthiest, but a 2.74 xFIP, also striking out 36.1% of the batters that he's faced throughout the last two seasons. So that's really good stuff. Hard to hit him. ISO of 120 against lefties, 143 against righties in the last two seasons. So you're looking at this Royals lineup, and the Royals lineup, it's so much better than it was previously. You got Bobby Witt Jr. in the lineup. That's crucial. Benintendi, Perez, Santana, Merrifield, Dozier, Mondesi's back. So it's a quality lineup for the Royals. They could really make some noise this season. But again, it won't be against Bieber. Looks like the lineup just came out there for the Royals. And it is kind of what I think I said. Yeah, that's the exact lineup that I was breaking down. That's going to be the lineup for the Royals. So it's good. It's really good. Not against Bieber or against really the Indians pitching staff, but the Royals, we will be hitting them at one point in the season. But then on the other hand, you have Greinke. He's back with the Royals, getting the opening day start. Greinke, he's a great story, a great pitcher, but I do think that his years are behind him. Uh, Against righties, a 350 weighted OBA and an ISO of 227 in his last 588 plate appearances against righties. That is not good at all, especially for a right-handed pitcher going up against righties. You look at this Indians lineup, they have Straw, Rosario, Reyes, Chang, Hedges, and Ramirez is a switch hitter, but anytime Ramirez is in the lineup, you're a little scared as a pitcher. So I think the Indians can at least score 2 runs in the first 5 innings over Greinke. I'm not very high on Greinke. I think it's cool that he's back with Kansas City, but it's not exciting enough for me to go and ride with Greinke, though. So if I had to pick a bet for this game, I do like the Guardians here over 1.5 in the first 5 at minus 140. I think that's the best bet and the best play that you could make in this game if I had to make a decision. Going on to the Cardinals game, Cardinals playing against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Of course, the Pirates really didn't do anything to help their team from last year. They got Vogelback, who will be leading off, I think, for the Pirates, a power hitter, a guy that really didn't start every game for the Brewers last year. So nothing too exciting there for the Pirates. So don't go crazy over the Pirates this year at all. No, Adam Wainwright, a guy that's going to be pitching for the Cardinals. He's been a part of opening day for plenty of years, going up against JT Brubaker. I really like the Cardinals lineup this year. I think it's really, really good. And I think it's only going to get better compared to last season. You have Dylan Carlson going to get the leadoff spot, Edman going back to the 9th spot, but also Goldschmidt should have a bounce back season. Tyler O'Neill should have a better season, like an even better season than last year. Arenado, you have Pujols in the mix, DeJong, Molina. So, yeah, the Cardinals lineup looks really good and definitely should do damage against Brubaker. Now, I will say Brubaker's been a lot worse against lefties and righties, but he allows power to both sides. So, the Cardinals, they have a ton of power in the lineup from Goldschmidt to O'Neill, Arenado, even Pujols. So there's plenty of power in this lineup for the Cardinals, and I do think the Cardinals should be able to do some damage offensively against Brubaker early. Well, that was 23.5% of line drive percentage, hard contact 38.1% for Brubaker. So again, the Cardinals should be able to do damage here. And I like the Cardinals to win this game pretty easily. So if you want to look at like a minus 2.5 at plus 190, I think there's some value there. I do think that we can go at that route for this game. I think the Cardinals destroy the Pirates in the first game with Wainwright on the mound. So look at that. The Cardinals really do anything team total, spread, kind of whatever you want to do there. I like the Cardinals in this matchup. Now we're going to go to the Mets game. Obviously, my team, the Mets, playing against the Nationals. Tyler McGill gets the start instead of Jacob deGrom. Also got Patrick Corbin on the mound for Washington, with Washington at home. So for me, I think Corbin probably the worst pitcher on the slate going into today. had 16 losses last year and had an ERA of 5.82 last year. So there's not much to like out of Corbin. He does have his hot and cold streaks, had 9 wins as well, and had some games where he was okay. But overall, you look at Corbin against uh, left-handed batters or against right-handed batters, he's been so bad. 777 plate appearances against righties, a 384 weighted OBA, and an ISO of 241. And that's, again, 777 plate appearances against right-handed batters. Look at this Mets lineup. You have Marte, you have Lindor, Alonso, Davis, Escobar, Canna, and McCann all batting from the right side. We're not sure if even Nimmo will be able to start this game with a neck injury. Probably will end up playing, but again, could take another lefty out of the lineup for a righty or whatnot. So, yeah, again, there's a lot to like with this Mets lineup. A lot of righties in the lineup against Corbin, who 4.54 xFIP in his last 2 seasons, striking out under 20% of the batters and walking over 7% of batters. So guys like Pete Alonso, who have destroyed left-handed pitching when it comes to power, has plenty of potential to hit a home run here. Also, Escobar has a really low strikeout rate against lefties, 13.7% strikeouts against lefties. So that's really good for Escobar. A lot to like out of this Mets lineup against the left-hander in Corbin. Then you have Tyler McGill. McGill on the mound. This is a guy that a lot of people have pinned as a breakout candidate. Obviously, pitching instead of DeGrom, so yeah, that kind of stinks. But overall, yeah, McGill should be better than Corbin in this game. Does allow some power to lefties, a 406 weighted OBA and an ISO of 297 and 184 plate appearances against lefties. So guys like Soto, guys like Bell, guys like Keibert Ruiz could all do damage against McGill when it comes to power. So like Soto, Cruz, Bell, and Ruiz, those 4 guys can definitely hit for power, but the rest of the lineup for the Nationals does not look good at all. So a lot to be desired there. You have those four batters, but nothing else. So again, I like the Mets in this game. Think that they can get the job done, and of course, historically, they've done very well in opening day games. So now we have the night games, just 3 more games as I take a sip of water. We've got the Reds versus the Braves. It's going to be Mahle against Fried. Obviously, Braves coming off a World Series. Fried was really one of the bigger parts of that. Obviously, with Fried, he had a stretch where he had, I think, 12 or 13 straight quality starts to finish the season. So that's what you kind of have to expect out of him. You kind of have to expect a quality start out of Max Fried. And so you look at Max Fried and his numbers, a 3.52 xFIP in his last 2 seasons, 23.4% strikeouts, and 6.4% walks. The biggest thing here, 52.2% ground ball rate, which is really good. And of course, lefties and righties both have not had much success against Fried this season. Also, you look at this lineup for the Reds, they don't have Jesse Winker anymore. They don't have Nick Castellanos anymore. And the big addition for their lineup was instead Tommy Pham. So the lineup has definitely taken a hit. Jonathan India should improve and should be a big portion of this team. Also, Tyler Stevenson showed a lot of signs last year of being a up-and-coming player as well. So you've got those guys. You got a lineup that it's not as good as it was last year. Moustakas likely won't get the start as a lefty. So again, not much to like here for the Reds and their lineup, especially going up against Fried. Now you look at this Braves lineup. The Braves, they've destroyed right-handed pitching in the last 2 seasons. Like every single guy down that list, even Matt Olson, who's now replacing Freddie Freeman, has a 237 ISO and a 359 weighted OBA with nearly 15% of walks against righties in his last 2 seasons. So Rosario, Olson, Riley, Ozuna, Albies, Duvall, Dickerson, Swanson, and Darno all have really high ISO numbers going up against righties, and also weighted OBA combined would be 341 in the last 2 seasons. So a lot to like there. Mahle should be able to get some strikeouts. That's where he can work out of trouble getting those strikeouts going up against this Braves lineup. But he's got to make sure he's able to stay 5-6 innings to get his strikeout prop. But that's the only way that he can do some damage, because you won't get ground balls, and if guys hit the ball, he's going to struggle there as well. So I like the Braves here. I think that they can get over on their team total of 4.5. And even if you want to look at the first five against Maui, I think 2.5 is fair. Just be aware that if the Maui does have good stuff and is striking guys out, that's the reason. That's the way he'll be able to get around trouble in this game. But again, I do like the Braves to get the job done against the Reds in this game. The next game, Astros versus Angels. You got Ohtani on the mound against Valdez. Anytime I see Ohtani on the mound, I kind of just stay away from that game. It's hard to know what to expect out of him. I don't really know because he's just inconsistent here and there. Has some bad games, some good games, and you can't blame him because he's a player as well as a pitcher. Obviously, he'll be a DH now. Won't be in the field when he has to play, in the NL. But overall, yeah, I don't like touching Ohtani games at all. But with Framber Valdez, a left-handed pitcher, his walks can get high, 9%, but overall, he's really good at limiting the power, and the weighted OBA not very high either when it comes down to lefties or righties. Obviously, gets a ton of ground balls, 68% in his last two seasons. So that's really good stuff out of Framber Valdez. But overall, look, the Angels lineup should be a lot better this year. You have Ohtani, you have Trout, you have Walsh, Rendon back in the lineup. Stassi should improve. So the top of the lineup really looks great for the Angels. Just got to stay healthy if you're Ohtani, Trout, Rendon. But again, that looks like a really good lineup, especially at the top of the order. When it comes down to it, their Ohtani hit 50% ground balls against lefties. So, it might not be the best matchup for Ohtani, but overall, yeah, look, the Angels should be a playoff contender this year. I know we say that every year, but if they can stay healthy, they will be a playoff contender. But for me, yeah, I'm staying away from this game. I don't know what to expect. Ohtani inconsistent. His walks also high. So both guys can end up walking a ton of batters in this game that can get into trouble quickly. And that can either be really good or really bad. But we'll see. It's a new season. We don't know what's going to happen. But both guys can definitely walk a ton of batters in this game. And I would say lefties on the Astros could definitely do damage when it comes to power. So guys like Tucker, Alvarez, are guys to look out against Ohtani for home run potential in that game. The last game, the Padres against the Diamondbacks. Madison Bumgarner on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Figured he'd be retired by now, but he's not. He's still here. 5.40 xFIP in his last two seasons. The ground ball rate, 33.7%. Line drive rate, 22.8%. Hard contact, over 40%. And he's been bad against righties as a left-handed pitcher. 228 ISO, 338 weighted OBA, also limited strikeouts at 17.2%. So not much to like out of Bumgarner, but if you guys remember from last season, the Padres were not very good against left-handed pitching. Now they do have Luke Voit in the middle of the lineup. They have Machado, Myers. Those are righties that can do some damage against Bumgarner. But yeah, look, the Padres are not the best lineup against left-handed pitching. You have Nola, Profar, Kim, all at the bottom. Hosmer too. Not much to like there from that lineup. We'll see what the actual lineup is, but overall, yeah, just the Padres are not that great offensively against left-handed pitching. So I wouldn't bet against Bumgarner here, although I do think he's not a great pitcher. Then you have Darvish, a guy who obviously inconsistent throughout all of last season, but overall 3.77 xFIP in his last two seasons, also striking out nearly 30% of batters. So there's still a lot to like out of Darvish. ISO power numbers a little bit high for both sides. So you look at the lefties that can hit with power. A guy like Beer, he's a guy that kind of went under the radar. Seth Beer, he could have some power going up against Darvish, but maybe Varsho as well. But there's not much to like out of either one of these lineups. So you probably see an under game in this one. But I don't want to take that with Bumgarner on the mound and an inconsistent Darvish. So not going to touch this game, but I do think that this game probably goes under if I had to pick. So those are all of the games for today's slate. I do have a best bet. Now, remember, you will need to subscribe to my Dub Club to get these best bets for 6 out of the 7 days. One day I will give out free stuff like this video and my best bet so I can get some more public's eyes onto my stuff. But the first bet of my season will be the Mets over 2.5 on the team total at plus 110. Got it on WynnBet. I saw it at plus 105 and other spots. Now the places that have it, and I forgot to mention that it's first five. It's spring training for me too, or the opening day for me too. But it's going to be a first five team total for the Mets at 2.5 at plus 110. And the sites that are giving out these first fives, it's going to be DraftKings, WynnBet, PointsBet, Golden Nugget, and I think those are really the ones that are going to give out the first five team total bets. So go get those sites and make sure that you put some money in there, because that's where we're going to be hitting all year long. So yeah, the Mets over 2.5 in the first five team total. Just to go over that game one more time before I leave. Again, Patrick Corbin, the worst pitcher on the slate today. Obviously, an opening day, you're not going to get many bad pitchers, so it's a little bit harder to find team total overs on the first couple of days on the baseball season. But overall, again, like I was saying, Corbin against righties, 777 plate appearances in his last two seasons, a 384 weighted OBA, a 241 ISO, striking out just 17.6% of batters from the right side, also walking 7.7%. About 7.5% would be average, so a little above average when it comes to the walks there for Corbin, also giving up nearly 50% hard contact against righties, and that's 777 plate appearances. Then you look at this Mets lineup, should be a ton of righties. You got Starling Marte in there. Francisco Lindor should be a lot better this year. Alonso's got plenty of power against lefties throughout his first two seasons. J.D. Davis, Escobar, McCann will be in the lineup. So 7 right-handed batters in the lineup against Corbin, who's a lefty, who's really struggled against righties in the last two seasons. So again, the Mets over 2.5 first five team total plus 110 via WynnBet. That's my official play for the day, my first bet of the season, and these bets are going to be just 0.5 units per bet throughout the entire season. So yeah, that's the bet. Again, make sure to subscribe to my all access Dub Club package. Give you a 1 week free trial to sign up now, and you can do that by looking at the description box below, and then just clicking on the link and doing what it asks. And there's that. There's the first episode of the MLB season. I'll be back on Tuesday, but on Tuesday it will be exclusive and private to Dub Club members. And if you guys want to see any special guests on this platform, please let me know, and I'll get them on. We'll have some fun once in a while with other cappers on the show as well. But anyway, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. I will see you guys on Tuesday.